is saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. 20 years ago, which was before the last election, why didn't they come together? Ego played a major role. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar thought he could get it for himself. Peter Obi thought with the obedient movement he could nick it. Kwankwaso thought he could nick it. If you ask these three men who won the election, they will say we did. So why do you deceive yourself too much about politicians? But they couldn't come together. This same Kwankwaso that couldn't make a deal with Obi leading up to the last election, that talks broke down. All of a sudden, they want to coalesce efforts. So we don't know how this will pan out. We don't know who they are going to put forward as president. With their ego, allow them. With Atiku Abubakar say, oh, you don't know I might be how many times lucky now on the next stroke. So let me go. Because that was how they made the argument in the PDP that, he's the only one that has electoral value. Others didn't agree. As against the zeitgeist of the nation that was talking about, let power go to the south. We don't know if Kwankwaso will want to say, I'm the king of Kano. I can take Kano. And some other northern states will be able to vote for me. We don't know if Peter Obi will say, me and my obedient movement, we can make change happen. So there are some things we don't know. We don't know how this will pan out. But unknown will be, in all of this, the average Nigerian person does not know where the next meal will come from. The average Nigerian person does not know what future holds for them. The average Nigerian person does not know what will befall his fortunes. The even average Nigerian rich man does not know. Maybe another devaluation will happen to the currency that he will become poorer than he was yesterday. The average Nigerian company does not know what will happen to their fortunes next. Maybe, rather than thinking of the known about our politician, it's time to start thinking of the unknown. I rest my case.
All right. Well, Rufai, you said that. I just wanted to point out something. You said that out of the three of them, they all thought they won. I don't think Kwankwaso would think that I don't think so. I think he's not even. He didn't even bother going to court. So let me just say that. All right. In terms of a merger, you both said it all, and let me just chip in a few things as well with regards to at the end of the day, as we have said and emphasized a number of times, don't die in their war. It's interests at the end of the day. When interests align, then politicians then find out that they're able to work together. Recall that just immediately after the announcement, during the collation actually, before the announcement of the results during the elections, PDP and Labour Party held a joint press conference, and there were already conversations around what has, where is that coming from? And a number of their supporters who were, especially from the obedient movement, had said, no, we don't want anything to do with the old. So why are we having even a joint press conference to address concerns with regards to the process of election, the process of INEC's process in terms of the collation and announcement of results? So there was already an indication that it wasn't off the tables for conversations to still be had. Also, remember that Mr. Peter Obi was in the PDP before he then moved on to go on to the Labour Party and become the presidential flag bearer of that party. And so we have new ideas, we had a very strong movement with regards to the obedience. But in all of this, whether they are having mergers, conversations, coming together, who is stepping down for who, I hope we don't lose the momentum, especially with regards to the young people who want a change, so that at the end of the day, no matter what emerges from this conversation, the people still recognize that the office of the citizen is the most important and the most powerful office, or should be, let me put it that way, the most powerful office in the land. And so the people should put their interests first and make demands, come to the table. You see how politics works. It's not just about, I'm sticking to my guns, I'm not going to be. When it comes to it, they will come together and have conversations, and they will agree. If it doesn't align, they will go back again to throwing stones at each other if it doesn't work out. Because as has already been identified, it seemed as if the NNPP was coming to some sort of agreement or arrangement with the APC. In fact, there were talks around perhaps, Mr. Kwankwaso getting some appointments in this particular administration. So when that didn't happen, he's gone to pitch his tent And hopefully one positive thing we could possibly get out of this, out of the others, is a strong opposition. A strong opposition which Nigeria's democracy has lacked. PDP as an opposition party in the last 8 years, maybe not very strong, because everyone is looking out for themselves. So in terms of holding government to account, in terms of practicing, strong opposition in democracy hasn't really seen the light of day. I'm hoping that there would be a formidable team that would, even if not at this time get into power, if they do, it would be determined by the courts and the people. But if they don't, they will be able to hold the administration and the government to account and we'll begin to see things work in our favor. It is very important. The people must have their say at the table. Very critical. In the coming days, we'll see what the merger and the talks, the unknowns, will begin to know. Those whether it's going to happen or how it will emerge, who would be the frontliner, who would be the flag bearer. But at the end of the day, Project Nigeria is what we're interested in. And we must remember that all the mudslingings, all the violence, whether verbal or actual, on behalf of these stakeholders has to be with sense. It is interest. Nigerians must fight for Nigeria in terms of holding on for Nigeria and not fighting in their war.